Today, I'm going to give you 3 tools that you can use to develop leaders in your company. Now, I don't know if you've ever felt like this, but there were definitely times when we were growing our business where my husband and I would say to each other, geez, we just can't find good people. There's no good employees. Nobody wants to work, right? And you get on this downward spiral of feeling like there's no good employees out there. Well, today I want to give you the 3 tools that we used to shift our thinking from that negative angle and spinning it to something positive where we were able to find good people, and some of them were already working for us in our company, and we were able to develop them into leaders who took over the day-to-day operations in our business. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. These tools and techniques that I'm going to share with you there might be a mindset shift for you. So I want you to stay with me. If you're like, wow, this sounds way too like mushy gushy or whatever it is, bear with me because I promise you they work. And these are all things that we learned from our business coach. Howard Partridge was and still is our coach. And we learned a lot of these leadership techniques from the trainings that we would do with him, or things that we learned through working with John Maxwell, going through Brian Tracy, teachings all about growing ourselves as leaders. So can't stress it enough. Growing yourself as a leader is the transformation that you must make in your business, right? So here are 3 tools today I'm going to share with you, and we did these in our own business. The reason why I started thinking about this is because I reread a quote, and it just stuck with me. It was from actually an in-person conference we were at with Brian Tracy, and he said to have a 10, right, on the scale of 1 to 10, a level 10 would be the best. To have a 10 employee, you have to be a 10 leader, right? We're just not going to attract a 10 A player, out of this world, phenomenal employee if our leadership style and our business are not at that level. We might get them and hire them, get lucky, get them for a little while, but they're probably not going to stick around, right? So in order to have those A players, those level 10 rated, highly rated team members, we have to be that person that they want to work for. So let's just get into it. So the first one that I want to share with you is care. Number 1. This is why I said stick with me. I promise it sounds mushy-gushy, but it's good. This is good stuff, right? So the first thing that you have to do as a leader is care for others. So what do I mean by that? Well, another quote from Zig Ziglar, he said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care about them. You have to care about other people, and it starts in our business. So we can have a mission where we want to care for our customers, take good care. We take the best care of our clients, right? But what about the people in our house, right? And when I say house, I'm talking about our business. We need to care about those people. They spend more time with us at work than they do with their own families in most cases. So let's start there. So how do we do that? Well, it's by listening. Number 1, we have to pay attention, right? We have to always be listening to different things that they talk about. What do they like? Our team members were always talking to each other about what they did on the weekend. And, my ears would perk up if I heard them mention something specific. And then you can just go back in your office and write it down. Oh, such and such likes this, or likes to do this on the weekend. Or we had a lot of guys who just got into fitness in our company. So, that was the thing. I always knew they were working out or meeting up at the gym after work or whatever protein thing they were into at that time. So you just have to listen. Another thing you can do to show care for others is we were huge on learning personality styles. There are a lot of different personality tests that you can take out there now. We really liked the DISC profile because it was simple. It was just those 4 main types of styles that everybody could fall into. And it was easy for us to remember and also teach to our employees because we taught them how to identify different personality styles because everybody communicates different. And I think that's why it's so important to care. Another good thing that you could do is learn about the love languages. So everybody has their love language, right? So if you can learn like what their personality style is, what their things that they like to do on the weekend, what they do with their family for fun, and then also learn their love language, you have a formula for really caring for people. This was eye-opening to me because there is a book that is specifically on using love languages in the workplace. And it was eye-opening to me because we had this girl who worked for us, and I'm a hugger, right? So like if there was something going on or, she'd come back from vacation or whatever, like I would want to hug her and just be like, oh, we missed you. Welcome home, whatever it is. Or if she was having a bad day, like, oh, come here. Well, she would always kind of be like awkwardly hugging. But then I read the book about the love languages in the workplace, and I was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I think of this? Is not her love language, is not, physical touch. Her love language is something different. So then I realized it was like acts of service or whatever it is, but it was interesting how it could be applied into the workplace. So these are all things that we can use. These are tools that we can use to pay attention to our team members. Our operations manager, I think we were at like our Christmas party or something one time, and his wife happened to mention that, oh, he loves Longhorn Steakhouse. And so I was like, oh, okay. And I don't even think I wrote it down at that time, but when his birthday rolled around, I was like, oh, we should get him a gift card for Longhorn Steakhouse. His wife said he loves that place. Like, not just his favorite, like he loves it. So that's what we did. We got him a gift card for there, and he was thrilled, so happy. I think he even said something like, oh, how did you know I like this place? Ooh, I was listening, so just little things like that will show care, that you actually care, you were listening and you remembered something, right? So that's the first one, care. The second one is develop others. We have people work for us, and I don't know if your company is like this, but we had a lot of young people come work for us. Starting out, just getting their feet wet, looking for a career, what they could really like get into to build a career. And so it was very easy for us to help them with different ways to develop themselves as leaders if they wanted it. So the first thing you have to think about is, do they even want it? Because some people don't. Some people don't want any responsibility. And we would have people come work for us who they just wanted to clock in, clock out, know that they were getting their paycheck. They didn't want any added level of responsibility. And that's okay, because to be honest, we don't need 50 leaders in the company, right? Unless you get a certain size. We just need a few people to step up. So the first thing you have to do is look for their desire. Well, how do you find that out? By asking them. Ask them. And I'm not saying, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Not that kind of conversation, although that question could work. It could get you to that answer. But ask them, well, what do you want to do? You want to get married one day? You want to have kids? You see yourself sticking around this area? Do you want to buy a house? Ask them about their goals. What is it that they want out of life? Just have those conversations with them, and they'll tell you a lot, especially if you've been showing that care and concern for them. They'll open up more to you. So the first thing is to find out what their desire is. Do they even want it? And then the second thing is help them with personal development. We can't leave it up to them because they won't do it. I mean, think about how many people are actually working on themselves in the world, right? It's pretty small. The fact that you're watching this video is great. It says that you're trying to work on yourself. But the brutal reality is most of our employees are not thinking along those lines. So we have to help them. So think about different trainings or things that you could help with your whole company. And I'm not just saying with the people who are stepping up to be leaders. Think about everybody. We actually read the whole Born to Win book with our entire company. We just got enough copies for the whole team. And that's what we did for a few months on our Wednesday morning meeting, was we read through chapters of Born to Win. A lot of people come from broken backgrounds and childhoods and things where This is not normal to them to work on themselves and read positive things. So if we help them, it can really have a big trickle effect, not just in your company, but as business owners, we have the ability to really help overcome those generations of just like being stuck in one way. And that's how, is by helping them with the personal development, helping them build a healthy self-image, and let them see that they do have potential. Right? It's all a part of developing others, asking about what their goals are, showing them how to build up their self-esteem and grow themselves as a leader. And then once you have those people who are showing signs and saying, yeah, you know what, I see myself with a future here. I want to help this business grow, whatever. Give them some leadership development. So the self-development that you can do with the whole company is different than the leadership development. If you're going to put someone into a leadership role in the business as a manager where they're over other people, you want to make sure that you've given them tools and trainings on how they can coach others. Because the last thing you want to do is put someone into a position where they just are not treating your team how you want them to treat them. So make sure that once you find that person, you're giving them some leadership development that they can use to coach the team as well. Okay, so that all falls under that develop others, number 2. The third thing is that I want you to think about love. So this is where I didn't want to lose you. Stay with me here, okay? You have to love others. So what do I mean by that? Well, for one thing, you really have to love people to grow your business. I mean, think about it. You have to love your customers because you want to give them great service. You have to love your team members because you want to have them stay with you, right? You don't want to hire somebody and train them and then they leave in 6 to 8 months. So we have to have a love of people to do all of these things. Because think about what love is. What is love? Love is a commitment, right? It's a commitment that we give our partner in life. So how can we apply that to our business? Think about love in your business and with your employees as a commitment to be the best boss that you can be. You are committing that I am going to always be developing myself, always moving myself forward, growing myself to make sure that I provide the best work environment for you. I provide opportunities for you to grow. I am committed to making this a great place to work. So love for the employees, for the team, is a commitment, right? It's a commitment from you as a leader. So let me give you some examples of this, okay? I had this job when I was I think I was 22. And this was a job that I loved. I worked for a newspaper here. I will never forget, we had a really good boss. This guy, his name was John. Every morning when he would come in, he was so positive and happy, and he would walk through and he would say, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody, to everybody, a million times, right? But he was just so nice and he cared. That feeling came off that he actually wanted us to have a good day. Well, in the newspaper industry, I was in circulation. They move the circulation director all the time. The newspaper owned multiple. They would move him somewhere else because he was doing a good job. So he got transferred. Well, then we got this new boss. And man, the total energy in our department just changed because this new guy, he would come in and have his head down and totally try, he was hoping you didn't see him because he didn't want you to talk to him. He would come in with his head down and nobody would say hi to nobody. I mean, geez, it was almost hilarious if somebody said good morning and he had to respond. But he would go in his office and shut the door, and we might not see him again until lunchtime or maybe after lunch. Sometimes I would just look and I'd be like, oh, he's not even in there. When did he come out? He just never talked to anybody. And that feeling of this place is great to work, the caringness, it was just gone. To give you that example, because as leaders, we control the whole energy of our business. And I'm guilty of it. I know there were times where I was having a bad day, and I know I came in and shifted the energy in our business. And, I feel bad about that. We have the ability to guide the ship, right? We're guiding it. And if we are feeling negative or down or not showing love and care for our team members, that feeling is going to permeate the whole company. So John Maxwell says, everything rises and falls on leadership, right? Everything rises and falls on us and how we are guiding the ship, which is our business. It's that important, guys. So make sure that you are showing that love and commitment to your team. When you do these things, this is what makes people stay late. It's what makes them come in early. And it's also what prevents them from, being headhunted or whatever it is, where someone says, hey, you want to come work for me? I'll give you $1 more an hour. If you have built an environment of care and love and personal development and commitment in your business, that's what makes people stay when someone offers them a little more money per hour. No, I'm going to stay here. I'm happy where I'm at. I love my boss. We got opportunity to grow, all this stuff, right? So I'm going to share with you one more example that came to mind when I was thinking about this topic. So we had this girl come to work for us, and she was pregnant. And when she had her baby, right after she had the baby, we let her work from home, answering phone or doing some things from home, or she would come into the office and pick some things up to do at the house. Well, she came in one day and asked to talk to me, and she's like, I really need more. She's like, but my baby's not old enough to go to daycare yet. So I thought for a few minutes, and I think I talked to one of our sales manager at the time, because that's who she reported to. And I was like, what could we do for her? Do you have enough work that if she came with the baby and we made a space for her to bring the baby where it could be a quiet room and she wouldn't have to answer phones and be engaging with customers? Do we have enough, work that we could give her, that we could have her come in until the baby can go to daycare and she can go back to her full level of responsibilities? And we did. We figured it out. We thought about some tasks that we could transfer from one person to her so that she could come in and get enough hours so that she was making enough to pay her bills until the baby could go to daycare. I think about that example, and she was so grateful. And she was just like, she started crying, and she was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you're going to let me do this. I know this is a sacrifice, whatever. And I was like, it's fine. Like, we're happy to figure this out for you. You're a good employee. We want you to be happy. We want to keep you and do this for you. Why wouldn't I do this? I can, and we care about you. We care about our team. And so that example is, I'm getting a little emotional thinking about it, because it made a big impact for her. For me and for our team, it was small. It was like not a big deal for us to make this happen, but for her, it meant the world. And I think that's such a good example. Like I said earlier, don't get me wrong, we are not perfect. Our business, we had issues like everybody else, but I do think one thing that we did really good was care about others and show love for them. And I think that is just like such a prime example of it. And so I challenge you to think about times in your business where something like that could be done, or, comes up, and how can you help someone who's been an employee, a loyal employee for you, and help them, right? Think about those three things. Care, we have to care for others. We have to develop them. And then we also have to show love for them. So those are the three tips that I wanted to share with you on how you can actually develop leaders who will run your company for you. They'll take over, they'll guide the ship, they'll do it just like you. And it's just an amazing thing. If you didn't watch the video that Jeremy did last week about, once your business actually starts running itself, go watch that. This is what you get when you invest in people like this. When you care for them and develop them and love them, that's what you'll get, is a business that runs without you because they care and you've developed them into the leaders. And you won't find yourself saying, there's no good employees, right? So here's the question I want to leave you with. After hearing this, how would you rate yourself? Are you a 10 boss? How would you rate yourself? And then ask yourself, how would your team rate you? Would they rate you a 10 boss? I hope they do. But if you think, no, there's definitely some things that I need to work on developing my own self-development as a leader so that I can be that leader that they want to work for, then I have a free gift for you. I want you to go to my website, which is skilllevelup.com, and you can download a free ebook. It's called The 5 Secrets of a Phenomenal Business. This book literally changed my business life, and I know it will change yours too. There is a section in there on leadership, and you can start in that chapter. So that's my free gift to you for watching this video. It's at skilllevelup.com, and it's called The 5 Secrets of a Phenomenal Business. So I hope that was helpful. Tell me in the comments. I'm curious to see what your feedback is on how you would rate yourself as a leader.